Hey, Happy Crew, Happy Day. So in today's video, we are doing a Shanks showcase to show how my boy is probably the best legend out of this anniversary. He's just a monster in PvP. You take down Free Spirit team, he got your back. You just want to do some damage to a bunch of people, he got your back. So we're going to do 3 teams today. The first one will be kind of a modified Free Spirit team, kind of more of a Cerebral base team. But basically taking the Luffy and Bonnie meta team, making some quick updates, and then using that to just destroy other content there. So let's get into our first match. We do want to try to take on a Free Spirit team since Shanks does so good against there. So we'll take on this very bottom team here. As you can see from our team comp at the very, very bottom, apologize that it's really hard to see there. But basically we have Luffy, Bonnie, Kuma, Zoro, and Jinbei. 4 of the characters that you will find pretty much on every meta Luffy Bonnie team, right? You can see above that is kind of the meta Luffy Bonnie team there. So the only difference that we're making here is we're swapping out some different units. For example, we don't have the Usopp and Lilith here. Unfortunately, the downside to using this team that we have is that they're all Cerebral except for Zoro, and they all have a lot of high costs, right? So obviously Luffy Bonnie's 55, Kuma's 55, Zoro's 55, Shanks is 55, so then you have to really kind of sprinkle in some units that are lower costs, like Jinbei who's 20, Lilith who's 20, and then you also have to make sure you kind of get a couple conditions satisfied, one being the condition of Zoro to have at least 4 Straw Hats on your crew. So we have Luffy Bonnie, Zoro, Jinbei, and Usopp. He's just a random Usopp there. And then to get the Shanks special, some of the additional buffs there, you need a member of the Red Hats crew on your team in addition to him to get the 2 characters, and you get some buffs there. So we have Ben Beckman here. He's a 30 cost unit, but he was the only one that really fit on the team there. So we didn't really level him too much. We want him to survive a little bit, but not too long. The idea is that when he dies and Shanks come in, everyone will get the 30% HP cut, and then hopefully with Jinbei giving a 20% special reduction to our units here, Cerebral units, hopefully that will help kind of get Shanks going, because that's the key here. If you're facing a Cerebral team and you can get Shanks going, he's just going to absolutely destroy. Now, when you're facing a team like this, obviously it's a kind of a monster team here. Zoro's obviously going to go first, and the good news is Zoro should knock out Ben Beckman right away, or within, the first like 10 seconds or so. So that means that everyone who kind of has their special already ready to go is going to get that knocked out, which is just going to be super helpful. Unfortunately for us, Caesar went first, which is fine. It's taking a while for their Zoro to go. It's kind of weird to actually see our Zoro almost go first. But we are getting the special rewind, unfortunately. We're going to have Beckman die here. And then what should happen is he should reverse the CT on a bunch of the units, the Kuma, obviously. But actually, he wasn't even able to actually kill Beckman there on the front line. There we go. Now he's dead, which is good. So with that happening, unfortunately, we're going to take a shot here from the Luffy Bonnie unit. Unfortunately, because Zoro never went, we didn't have the awesome shield there, but now pretty much all their specials are gone. Our specials are just getting ready to charge, and as long as I can get Shanks to go, it's GG's. Like, he's gonna wipe out this whole front line himself. Kuma and Luffy are really just there, at this point, just to whittle down some of their health, but it's not going to matter. The special of Shanks is ridiculous with his damage to defense to Free Spirit characters. Like, once he goes, there's just no surviving that for Free Spirit characters. Their backbench isn't that great either, so once it goes, it's GG's for us. So at this point, we're just waiting for Shanks to go, again, because of the special CT that he got or gave when he came into the field. It just makes it so that no one can do anything. And this is a 150 Shanks. You can just see he just absolutely murders everything in his path. Doesn't even care. Says thank you for coming, but if you're Free Spirit, then you're pretty much going to die. And then we're going to have the super of Zoro, which should hopefully take out the last 2 units here, and then it's off to the races. So, I mean, Shanks really just absolutely destroyed the meta here for Free Spirit teams, which is awesome. Personally, I'm a huge fan of the Navy teams, and obviously that was always their biggest hurdle, was facing these Free Spirit. So I feel like now you have a lot of counters to some of the meta teams that are out there. I did run this team against the 90k battles for Free Spirit, for Driven, and against the Navy team as well. Was able to beat all of them without any problem. So that's probably more of a testament to the Zoro being able to just give so much defense that you can hang on for so long, and then once Shanks goes, it's pretty much over. Once Luffy, Bonnie go, for teams that don't have the Zoro shields, like, he just melts them. So that was the first match. We are going to get into the second match shortly. Just a quick note. So if you saw Stump's video from a couple of days back where he kind of showcased, he did showcase this team. So just one note on here, like, this team is just absolutely ridiculously broken in terms of what it can do, with Emu being able to take out you know, what people do with his captain ability right off the bat. Obviously Mars death hit, Shanks with his attacks, Lucky Root, Beckman and Yasop there, who just do a bunch of stuff with switching mechanics. They can get paralysis, a bunch of debuffs. So we are going to use a little bit of a different team when we face the second match of the day, because I don't want to just kind of repeat what Stump did. So we're going to go ahead and try a different team with the 5 Elders and Shanks and see how it works. So let's get into battle number 2 and see who we're going to fight here. So for the second match here, as I mentioned, we are using a kind of modified 5 Elders team. Unfortunately, with the cost, you have to be really restrictive of which 5 Elders you bring on this team. In this case, I am choosing to bring Saturn and Nejuro, mostly because they have the ability to have tags where if you have 5 or more of World Government or Navy or Zone, I think in some cases, then you get a bunch of buffs, right? Whereas, for example, Mars is much more rigid, where you have to have either 5 Elders or 5 Shooters. So it's a little bit harder to build a team like that. So looks like this team's a little bit different than what we saw here. But yeah, let's get into that battle and see what happens here. Luckily, because we did remove Mars from the team that you saw, the Stumps team there, we were able to fit in a couple other units. So we got the 20 cost Beckman in there to just help, so that when Shanks comes in, he gets the additional buffs. Again, I probably could have moved back into the front line just so that when he dies, Shanks immediately comes in. But Emu right off the bat just comes in, just absolutely shows what he's doing here. Takes out 1 unit himself. Now, a lot of these characters are Dex, which is kind of where our team is pretty much all strength, except when you get to the Beckman unit there at the back bench. So we should be just doing an absolute ton of damage against them. We do have to deal with the Zoro, which is annoying. And you can see we already lost Emu, which is unfortunate for us. But yeah, sometimes that hit from Zoro is just absolutely crazy. But we do get some additional buffs from Nejuro because there is a Zoro on the field. And you can see like Shanks just melted a ton of their units there. Pretty much made it so that there's no way we can lose now. And that, again, is the power of the Shanks. Nejuro's going to come out here, just do a bunch of damage, absolutely wreck everyone again. So, yeah, you can see we won that match in pretty much 18 seconds, which is pretty awesome. So, yeah, just another crazy version, or powerful version of the 5 Elder team using Nejuro from the last Global Anniversary that came up, the Zoro Nejuro unit there, using Saturn, using the new Shanks, and also using the new Kobe Rare Recruit that just gives a little bit of CT reduction to our crew. So yeah, that being said, that was battle number 2. Like I said, they're just a crazy team if you get type advantage or if you get units that are free spirit. Just makes it really good. So to wrap up this video, we're going to have one more set of battles, and this time we're going to see if we can build a team using just slashers. They're pretty much a underutilized meta in today's Rumble scene. Unfortunately, they just don't have a lot of staying power. So I'm going to build a team right here. It's going to use some slashers. Obviously, we're going to want to try to also see if we can use Zoro to get some defense in there, but that means we have to get some Straw Hat. So we're going to probably use Straw Hat Nami, the slasher version of there. And we'll be right back with a video and show you how Shanks can help also improve the slasher team. For the final fight of the day, we are using a slasher team using Shanks. Now, you might be wondering, why are we using Shanks? He's not a slasher. That is true, but he does end up boosting slashers with both his Rumble ability as well as his Rumble special. So, you know what? I said, let's see how he actually works on the slasher team. Obviously, he's super overpowered in the 2 previous teams that you saw. So, yeah, let's take him into some content, see how we'll do. We do have Pell on this team because, again, he does an awesome amount of damage. He gets the buff from the shield from Zoro, so that's good. And then we're also using the Roger unit at the end there because they have an amazing special. And again, because they're free spirit, they'll get that shield from Zoro, pretty much hopefully help us kind of carry on and see what we can do. So for the final match, let's see who we can get. Let's go ahead and take on this bottom team right here, I think. Obviously, the advantage here is that Blackbeard Luffy, Bonnie, and Ace on the backbench are free spirits. We should get some additional buffs there, which should just help us beat them. This seems to have a ton of CT. That's kind of the big downfall of this team. We are going to get 3, I believe, from the Shanks unit, and then 3 from the Roger Pirates, so that should help us hopefully at least get ready to go. We get Zoro, who gets the instant to 100% because we have 4 Straw Hats on our crew. The enemy buggy does get their chance to go first, so that's kind of the hard part. Is that if you're fighting buggy, he almost always will be able to go first, unless you have like Zoro on your team, for example. We are getting some special rewind, which is unfortunate for us. Gonna take a shot here from Luffy. Again, the downside there is because we weren't able to get the Zoro shield up in time. He just took an absolute ton of damage. I don't know how Zoro didn't actually die, to be honest with you, but somehow he managed to hold on. Unfortunately, though, once Ace goes, he's probably going to end up killing that Zoro just because he just does an absolute ton of damage. So he, luckily, he didn't kill Ace, but he forced him out, which is probably just as bad. We're going to take some debuffs here from the buggy unit. Hopefully, once Pell goes, he can kind of take a bunch of these people out with them. That would be the best case scenario. We were able to take off the Blackbeard, but he does have just an insane death hit, which is just an absolute menace to deal with. Luckily for us, Emu is not ready. We're going to have our Shanks, who is going to be awesome. He's going to look like he's going to be the MVP here, and kind of take out both the Ace as well as the buggy that's there as well. So it should be pretty easy now at this point to get the dub. Again, our boy Ace in the showcase finishing off. Obviously, he's not as strong here as he is in the other 2 teams that we showcased. This is definitely not a meta-defining team for the slashers. They're not going to suddenly change that meta at all. But again, if you are looking to take down free spirit teams, there are a bunch of varieties of teams that you saw that he can do to help take down that free spirit. You don't need super ultra powerful teams. Pretty much as long as you have a Zoro and that Shanks, and you have your Shanks special go, you win. That's kind of how it is with him and free spirits. Hope you like this video. A lot of cool different battles that we can do here. Again, if you want to build a defensive team around him, you can build the team with the Zoro, the Shanks, the Brook. There's a Brook out there that does a heal as well. And just continuously heal and just keep popping people off with some special damage, while Zoro and Brook just keep healing and healing and healing and keeping you going. So a lot of interesting defensive teams I think you'll see coming out with this guy as well. But that's going to wrap it up for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you liked the video. My Shanks was 150, so we did hit like insanely hard. But if you have posters, I would say it's definitely worth level limit breaking him, just because of the amount of free spirit teams that are out there. You'll see them in every grand party. Going forward, even though he's being debuffed now, you'll still see him very rampant out there. So make sure you go ahead and level yours up if you have the posters to do so. Until next time, as always, be kind to each other. Thanks.